Mark Zuckerberg.
WavyOcho, I'm gonna react to Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk situation.
Versus Elon Musk will not be close. The internet has broke these past couple of weeks with rumors of a super fight in the cage between two tech giants, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. This fight first sparked when Elon Musk tweeted, "I'm up for a cage match if he is, LOL," in response to a potential meta project called Threads that seeks to rival Twitter. Mark would respond on his Instagram story with the words, "Send me location," and when this got to Twitter, Elon would respond with, "If this is real, I will do it," 2 fire emojis. And from here, all hell would break loose. Playful jabs over Twitter and Instagram soon evolved into an actual fight event, with talks of Dana White hosting the event under the UFC banner in an MMA cage, and based on his TMZ interview, he seems completely serious about setting up this fight in an actual UFC card. John Jones even tweeted that he would help train Mark Zuckerberg, and in response, GSP said he would be helping Elon in his corner. And in a recent pic posted by Lex Friedman, it shows Elon potentially training alongside GSP and legendary coach John Danaher. Additionally, there's been rumors of the Italian government even trying to get this fight in the fucking Coliseum. And as much as I would love to see this fight actually be made, if this fight were to actually happen, it would not be close, and here's why. So starting off this breakdown, let's go over the basic physicals. Just to note, most of these numbers are just estimates of what I could find on the internet, so it could be more or could be less. Mark Zuckerberg is 39 years old, stands at about 5'7", and weighs at about
Almost 40.
155 pounds, and his reach is unknown. Elon Musk is 52 and towers over Mark in comparison, standing at 6'2" and weighing around 200 pounds based on these shirtless pics.
Mark is younger, is mad younger than, Elon, Elon got the height and stuff. He got the height and reach over Mark. Mark still got the, speed and all that shit, bro. He still got speed and he's more younger, despite, Elon being have height advantage over him and weight advantage over him.
So if you're not a fight fan, you would probably see these stats and say Elon should be able to dominate Mark based on the sheer size difference. But I'm here to argue it's going to be the other way around despite such a large height and weight difference. Now, if we get into the MMA experience of both...
Yeah, because, Mark is, younger and, he's 39, but he's still younger than, Elon. You are, feel me? He gonna have, even though, Elon, yes, he got the height and he got the weight on him. Mark is, younger and he got more, I'm pretty sure he got more speed than Elon.
Mark Zuckerberg's MMA experience is much more advanced than Elon, who practically has no training. About 9 months ago, Mark Zuckerberg posted some clips of him doing MMA training and even did a little promotional video of Metaverse where he fought Alexander Volkanovski, and I have to admit, he looks very good based on these videos. Though he says he's a beginner, his striking is not bad. It's definitely tight and you can tell he's a beginner, but he has decent form for his punches and he turns his hips when hitting his low kick. But what really impressed me was his jiu-jitsu. From podcasts, I think Mark has been training purely in jiu-jitsu for over a year and possibly months before he got into MMA training. And also a couple weeks before this, news broke that Mark legitimately won a jiu-jitsu tournament, and from videos of his training, it definitely looks like he's past the beginner stage of jiu-jitsu and knows what he's doing. And I haven't even mentioned that he could do this. I think the first 10 minutes or so of his interview with Lex Friedman in his second appearance gives great insight into his understanding of jiu-jitsu and MMA in general. But essentially, he has recognized the initial difficulty of learning a martial art and how he had to fail several times before succeeding. And I think his use of semi-location just shows he is truly a fan of mixed martial arts. This is in sharp contrast to Elon Musk's training and MMA thinking or lack thereof. I don't know if Elon's thinking has changed since he's done a little training sessions in jiu-jitsu, but he has said in the past that he has a patented move called the walrus, in which he just lays on top of you and you can't really escape, but anyone with a little jiu-jitsu training knows that's a bullshit move and is practically the first position you learn to escape from. With Elon's lack of MMA knowledge, I don't think he recognizes the difference in skill between he and Mark Zuckerberg, and I honestly think he thinks his size advantage will solely win him this fight. Now that we have their background established, let's break down the actual fight and modes to victory for both fighters. I think this is a classic smaller skilled guy versus the bigger unskilled guy. For Mark Zuckerberg, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He has a big head start when it comes to training, and really he just has to hone his skills against a specific target in Elon Musk. Mark has said in his Lex Fridman podcast that he's typically the smaller guy amongst his friends and training partners, so he's probably used to fighting guys that are much bigger than him, and he probably has techniques for going up against bigger guys, both striking and grappling wise. Considering Elon's game plan is probably going for the walrus, I would say escapes from the bottom are really big for Mark Zuckerberg. Mark could also even consider submissions from this position as well, and transition into a triangle, which he could definitely pull off at this level of expertise. As for striking, I think movement is going to be a big factor in this fight for Mark. And considering his youth, size, and overall training, I would assume that Mark has the speed and movement advantage here, and he definitely
That's what I'm saying. He has more speed than Elon.
needs to capitalize on this in the fight. Though we've only seen a few clips, I really like Mark's striking combinations that end in a really solid low kick, and I think that's a combo that would be very effective against Elon. Mark would be essentially chopping down a big South African tree with hard leg kicks to Elon's lead leg. This would further exploit the speed and movement advantage that Mark already has on Elon and basically debilitate Elon, rendering him even slower. And from here, Mark Zuckerberg can do whatever he wants. He can light up Elon Musk, he can take him down. Essentially, he has a very slow target in front of him that gives him a lot of freedom to do practically everything he's trained for. And finally, another thing Mark should keep in mind is working the clinch. Elon is probably out of desperation going to clinch in this fight if Mark continues to strike in volume. I haven't really seen it from Mark from the little striking footage we have, but Mark could work elbows and knees whenever Elon goes for a more standing walrus approach. As for Elon, I wouldn't say this fight isn't absolutely impossible for him to win. He really just needs to train specifically to take full advantage of his size difference. This fight, if it were to happen, would probably happen by the end of this year, giving each fighter 3 to 6 months to train. And so that's a very short period of time for Elon to prepare. He really doesn't have time to train MMA traditionally. He really only has time to train for this fight specifically and train for tactics specifically designed for this fight. So what are those tactics? For one, the walrus isn't the stupidest idea in the world, it just needs to be adjusted. Considering Mark has good jiu-jitsu, Elon again can't just get away with just laying on top of him. Elon has to learn how to get full mount or top control and basically lay on him and learn to use his weight correctly. A big thing Elon has to learn is where to place his legs and utilize them to control Mark from the top. He also has to be careful of not being in Mark's guard, as that's probably Mark's game and where Mark wants Elon to be, so escaping from guard is very important. As far as striking goes, straight punches go a long way for a longer fighter. Assuming Mark doesn't have Volkanovski type reach, I think it's safe to say Elon probably has a longer reach than Mark. For Elon, straight punches fully utilize his reach advantage, and all he really needs to throw is that jab and maybe a straight rear hand if he finds a good opening. Another thing he has to learn is circling on the outside, as Mark is definitely going to look to close the distance, so jabbing and circling around would be his best bet. Though I've shown Elon does have modes to victory, I think his probability of victory is very, very low. Mark Zuckerberg has a huge head start in terms of MMA and being in shape in general that will make it hard for Elon to catch up from the state he is in now. Realistically, I see the fight going like this: Mark lighting him up on the feet, Elon going for the walrus, Mark escaping and gassing out Elon, and if Elon doesn't retire in his corner in the first round, Mark ends it by TKO by a barrage of strikes in the second. So what do you guys think? Do you have Elon or do you have Mark? Is this fight even going to be made? And I know this fight is, in the words of Dana White, a freak show fight, but I still want this fight to be made because it will show a wider audience that the skill difference in MMA will more than make up for the size difference in this fight. Anyways, thank you again for supporting this.
Okay, that's the very so yeah, Me personally, I got Mark Zuckerberg winning this fight if they ever fight, if they ever like get it on him and Elon, cause like I said, and like I said earlier, bro, like Mark just have the speed and you know like you just have the speed, you know, like and he's younger, like I said. Only Elon has is the weight, his like weight and height, you know. But here's the thing, Elon is older. He is 52. Mark is 39. Like the video said, like he's jack out, like you know. But yeah, bro, I got Mark winning the fight between him and Elon. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. Just checking out you are.